Hello YouTube and welcome to episodes 4 and 5 in the Tatami Galaxy reaction series. Apologies for last week, I was in Melbourne away, but now I am back and I will endeavour to catch up episodes when I can, but it is what it is. Just a quick heads up about this recording session as well, I'll probably do one episode today and then another episode tomorrow, so it'll be a change in scenery and a change in clothes, but you'll still get the video on time, so should all be very good. Either way, keen to jump in for more Tatami Galaxy, but first I'm just going to have a quick look at the comments from the last episode. The first comment here is from TJ Gibson. He says, absolutely loving your reactions and discussions to this so far. Thank you. Just a heads up, if you're doing 3 episodes in one vid, episodes 6, 7, and 8 kinda go together. I'd maybe recommend splitting the rest of the series into 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by itself, and then 10 and 11 for the finale. You could also do 9 plus 10 and 11 in kind of one episode, but he is right, I would like to avoid doing 3 episodes wherever possible. Whatever you end up doing, I hope it'll be good anyway. Well, thank you very much for the nice comment. I think I'll follow your advice. I think I'm going to endeavour next week to do the 3 episodes. It's my lighter week at work, so I should be able to make it work, I think. Fingers crossed. Yeah, but I'm always appreciative about good stopping points and that kind of thing. It's something that's really helpful with me planning this series going forward. So please keep doing that kind of stuff for this or Monogatari or whatever else I do in the future. If you have insight and aren't spoilery about it, I'd love to hear it. The next comment here is by Matthew B. I personally wouldn't recommend the specials. They're fine, but just kind of uninspired compared to the rest of the show and don't really add anything. I would, however, highly recommend The Night is Short, Walk On Girl, which is a sequel slash spin off film, sort of, kind of. It's a wonderful work of its own that is able to raise the bar of the series style even higher given it has a movie budget. And then continuing, Venomous says, agreed, it's wonderful. There's also Tatami Time Machine Blues, which just started airing. Different director, but the first episode was very promising. So what I'm getting from this is that I might try to avoid the specials or maybe watch them on my own time and give some thoughts like that. They're maybe not worth reacting to on the channel, but definitely make way for The Night is Short, Walk On Girl and Tatami Time Machine Blues. I'd be keen on doing that kind of stuff if there is demand for me to do so. I like getting the full picture and the breadth of a series, even if they're, what I'm gathering, only tangentially related. Either way, they're in the old memory bank and will be considered in the future, don't you worry. Thank you very much for the comments this week. I'm just going to do a quick recap of the last 2 episodes. I say quick, but I've actually got a fair bit noted down here, and I also missed a lot of stuff because I missed a lot of nuance and that kind of thing because again, I can't repeat everything I said in the last video in this video. This show's very dense, if you didn't know. Anyway, the recap. Our main character and Ozu invade the house of a person named Jorgasaki-san and find some incriminating stuff there. Then we kind of flash back to the start of our main character's college life again, where he, instead of picking the tennis club, picks the movie club. However, things play out very similarly to the tennis club, where he fails in his relationships and doesn't make any real friends besides Ozu. We meet Jorgasaki-san, who is basically the chief controlling force of the movie club and is extremely annoying and creepy. Our main character, with encouragement from Ozu, plans to write and direct a documentary exposing what a creep Jorgasaki-san is. This process is informed by none of our main character's other films being appreciated by anybody except for Akashi-san. Our main character starts to get cold feet about the whole thing and goes for a walk, and is once again visited by the fortune teller, who tells him very similar things to what he heard last time. The protagonist's desire to continue his hit piece is reignited when Jorgasaki-san and his crew are out on the town and they say a lot of annoying and very mean and smug things. It comes to the night of the premiere and they have successfully laid the trap. They've kind of implanted their own film into the kind of film reel of Jorgasaki-san's film. His film is a very big, loud historical drama, which kind of fits with his character. However, upon hearing that Akashi-san has worked on the special effects for Jorgasaki-san's film, he has second thoughts about the whole thing. He starts to remember a bunch of different things about Akashi-san and the different promises they made and the relationship they have, and it plays out very similarly to the first episode. However, it is too late and the hit piece is shown and they all chase the main character away, not before Akashi-san makes her disapproval known, reminding him of the promise they made. The promise was around a romantic film that he was planning on making, that she really wanted to see, and our main character had lost sight of that. There's also a weird part where he's kind of looking out from the inside of his kind of old film that he was making to himself watching the film, which was a pretty cool technique, I thought. The next episode starts, and there's a lot of similar elements at play, so I'm going to skip over a lot of that kind of stuff and get to the newish stuff. And thankfully, there's a lot of new stuff to talk about. The main character instead this time chooses the cycling club and buys an expensive bike before it gets stolen by a mysterious group. He enters the race instead with his basket bike, and through a series of unfortunate events is drinking by himself on the riverbed after the race. Akashi's-san finds him there and asks him to be the pilot for an aircraft in the Birdman Society. He has the exact correct proportions and is perfect for the role. However, he starts working out with a newfound sense of purpose in this role, and this kind of ruins everything. When drowning his sorrows again after this happens, he finds the same mysterious group trying to steal Akashi-san's aircraft. The mysterious group's leader is revealed to be Ozu. Ozu asks the main character to join the same group to steal more bikes, and he agrees, just on the kind of condition that he can break up more couples by doing so. Just as he does this, Akashi-san confronts him and he starts to fly downhill on the aircraft at a great pace. It's kind of on this weird kind of minecart track almost. He is going to crash into the water but decides to try and use the aircraft to fly away. However, he doesn't have the correct proportions and tries to pedal where there were no pedals, kind of linking it to the bike stuff, and crashes into the water. Then we loop back again. Again, for that second episode in particular, I've left out a lot of the really cool stuff about the Icarus metaphor and everything else they were doing. It's dense. That's all I'm trying to say. Either way, just a couple little predictions here going forward. I predict there to be more loops, more clubs, more Ozu, more Akashi-san. I don't really know what else I could fundamentally predict at this point. I know eventually there's going to be some kind of break to this cycle, but I don't think it's going to happen in episode 4, nor 5 for that matter, but we'll see. The only one real indicator of something that I have going forward is the Birdman Society, and if they continue to be in the show, if that makes any sense. There was this kind of cool scientist character in there, and I hope he sticks around, so fingers crossed, but I don't know. Either way, I think it's time to jump in episode 4, but not before I do my shill stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Very close to 200 subscribers, which is pretty fun. So, yeah, any help getting there would be appreciated. Even if you don't use your sub feed at all, just click the button. I don't know, makes me feel good anyway. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation, or anything else in general. Comment below. And I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter and I'll follow you back and we'll do the social interaction and it'll be awesome. Either way, I'm going to jump into episode 4 of the Tatami Galaxy right now. Rightio, got episode 4 up here ready to go. 22 minutes and 50 seconds on this video. There it is on screen. Don't see any reason to wait around, so let's jump into episode 4. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Who is this? Okay, I know who that is. And I know who that is. Where are they? What are they doing? Hanuki. Why are they eating in the dark? The colors are really cool though. Okay. What are they eating? That was cool. Yes. Who are you, Hanuki-san? Yeah, I thought she was. Okay. Sheriff Woody. Yeah, that's a bad night out. Yep, he seems like a bad guy. Hmm. What did you even do, though? Where is the one responsible? I think it's you, big dog. Good opening, though. That was a little bit strange. I'm not really know what to make of that. I'm gonna do my classic check that this is the right episode, just so I'm not like super confused. Yes, it is. So we'll say. So Akashi-san had a report and couldn't make it to like gathering, but it made it seem like that she would have another day. So maybe they're associated at this point. These five characters. I still really like Akashi's character design with the hair up and the jacket. I think that's my favorite one. See, he's like tail there. Anyway, we've got some theories about Ozu as well, of course. Yep, indeed. Had some kind of premonition. He so ran away from the flyers. That's smart. Is he in a cult? Weird. Yeah. It's really creative. Boob Mountain, of course. So it's like they almost won't let him leave. You know what I mean? Eighth year student. Yes. This episode's really creative so far, just in the visuals. He has library fines. Our duty was to help him escape from library fines. That's fun. Ah, yes, Jokasaki. My favorite. Yes, that tracks. Oh my god. That's awful. No, not Kaoru. You can't do that to her. It's like Mariana's Trench. It's near there, I think. Don't know what else is. Goal. His feet are insane. Okay. Doesn't seem relevant, but sure. I need a I didn't even read it. Kamaneko? Scrubbing brush. Look at it. It's amazing. What is this? What is this? That's so funny. Okay. I'll be expelled. Yes. You thought to shoot fireworks at them, huh? Yep, I'd done that already. Bit of deja vu or something. That water looks beautiful. Yes. Good old fortune teller. You're back. Well, yeah. Grab the opportunity dangling right in front of your eyes. It is. It's the fourth episode, so it's 4,000 yen. I like this because he's thinking about the brush. Yeah, why are you doing this? I agree. Yeah, why are you still in the cult? Hello, Akashi. There you go. How nice is this? Is she a disciple as well? Oh, yeah, she was, because she was invited to Thingo. The backgrounds are so awesome. Yeah, he's getting a better response. It sounds like they're walking all over the place. What's with the sea creatures? I don't know if I'm getting that. Was it because he put his pin into the sea and then it's something about a Pacific something? I don't know. Yes. There it is. Uh, I don't like his teeth. That's a lot of money. The colors here are awesome too. I like that it's just like a JPEG of the brush too. Is this horse with no name? This guy's doing the PlayStation rap. So is it meant to just be bullshit? Gotta love the Maru. It's a very good sequence though. Oh, look at the little shapes there. You must search for the circle. Oh yeah. So we're gonna go to Neko Ramen. Why don't you take Kakashi-san there? Should love it. Successor? Living in such a shrewd manner. Oh, the backstory. Yep, that's a lot of proxies. Oh, that's interesting. Yo, loves these raven-haired maidens. Yeah, give her a little plushie back. What is this? Should I spend the money on a dream date with Akashi-san? Those boiling chemicals aren't a good omen, though. Oh, why? I love his pink robe, though. A jewel? Oh, here's Ozu. This is the great battle of our time. Yes, hello. You evil, evil boy. Oh, dentist, right. What a ruse. Got me too. Masochistic proxy war. He is the true double agent. Meaningless double agent. The masters and the apprentices. All time stops for this epic encounter. Maru. The framing there was really cool too. Here's your money back. Damn. Everybody knows about that. Yeah, what is his real story? Don't look at the camera, you. Oh wait, yeah, we're proxy warring. Oh yeah, everybody piling up on top of him. That's clever. Come back here. You need to be part of this war. Oh no, don't open it. And now you must continue. Some other circle, you say? And here we go. Awesome. Again, one of the worries I had watching the show was that once I figured it out, it'd be kind of the same thing over and over again, and it'd be very easy to figure out. Again, they've gone another step further, like kind of abstract from where we were. You know what I mean? It isn't the same thing every time, which I like. So clearly, here the poor choice is buying the brush instead of taking the money and doing whatever else you want with it. It demonstrates that you've been kind of assimilated into his little cult that he has going on instead of breaking the cycle. I love how different this ED is musically from the rest of the show. I think it's got some real story significance too, but we'll see. Radio, just gonna jump in for a quick bit of analysis on that episode. So this episode, huh? It's definitely a different tone to the other ones for sure. Way more relaxed, less frantic, especially in comparison to the end of episode 3, where, I don't know, something really intense happens, where he falls out of the sky and crashes into the ocean. I think this is kind of like the lull after that, if that makes any sense, because I think the main character would subconsciously choose to do something like this right after something that intense and that physical, right? Something very low energy. I think it works for that, I think. I'll pop the episode up here and go through it at my own pace, but we'll just see what pops out. I don't really know if I have much to say about it, really. It's the proxy war stuff's interesting, but we'll get to it anyway. So the episode starts and we see 4 characters kind of eating in the dark. I'm not sure what they're eating, but it seems like a mishmash of a bunch of different kinds of foods. I wanted to shout out the technique here to start with. It's pretty good open to the episode. I like the colors of it all, kind of just the kind of features of the face appearing in the darkness. I think it really works. Okay, I think I kind of understand it now. I think I was just a bit taken aback at the start of the episode and didn't take in the information very well because I didn't really know what was going on. But my guess is that he is making them eat random things in the dark to kind of prepare them for what comes later in life, the trials and tribulations that you cannot see further down the track. It's almost profound, almost, but it's very stupid as well. What was her name? Hinuki-san, I think it is. She seems like a fun character. I hope she keeps coming back. Seems a little bit wild. Loves a drink. That's always good. We'll threaten to lick your face if you go out drinking with her. So Jogasaki-san at the end of the episode's going off to have a great time. And I love that she's just like Ozu's dentist, and that's how she's related to the story at all. I think that's very funny. Although he was only 15 minutes faster than me, he's Higuchi's first disciple. Okay, so 15 minutes before they dragged him into this, he joined. That's a little bit suspicious. Again, I'm running with this theory that it's all about destiny and fate, right? And these two are always going to be with, well, these 3, including Akashi-san as well. They're always going to be involved in our main character's kind of life. And part of the story is going to be him learning that and needing to act upon that in a different way to what he is acting now. It's all about self-improvement, right? Which makes sense at a college setting. It's about making the right choices. Again, we don't know what life holds ahead of us. I don't know, maybe it is profound. I've maybe come around. I have to find the responsible party for who is ruining my college life. I found him. Anyway, part of the show is going to be him realizing that, of course. Yeah, the opening's still really cool. I still haven't seen like half of these guys, so that'll be interesting. Especially the Bumblebee. I want to see the Bumblebee, and I want to see Sheriff Woody and his horse. Those are the 2 characters I want to see anyway. I like how this is kind of a creation of meaning through change, kind of a juxtaposition between the other episodes and this one. In the other episodes, he would, go forth and grab the flyer and join a club. In this one, his subconscious is telling him to outright refuse. He thinks that the clubs are the problem. So if he doesn't go into a club, he won't, fall into the same traps he's been falling into. But no, the trouble comes and finds him instead. So I don't think that's a great option either. And he kind of ends the episode lamenting the fact that he didn't pick a club, so maybe we're back to step 1 in that regard. Kind of the lady he envisioned in this kind of rose-colored college life, campus life, is now Ozu. So he sees that and he runs away, but Ozu chases him down and blah 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 blah. It's clever. There's lots of great, clever dialogue about the different quirks that Higuchi-san has. So, what was I calling him before? Kamotake. I wonder if he's still a god or he's not a god, or it's unclear. But we're gonna keep it in mind. Yeah, the dialogue in this show is still very good, extremely funny. Definitely holds up its end of the bargain compared to the production, which is also stellar. I like how he wasn't convinced to join the kind of cult, become one of his disciples initially until he kind of bribed him with, drinks and food and that kind of thing, and then never bought drinks ever again. It's kind of how it goes, isn't it? Is Ozu wearing 3D glasses whilst looking at a boob? That's pretty funny. I like that. And there's kind of the red and blue lights here as well. Very cool. I think one of the striking features of this episode is a lot of creative visuals for the things on screen. So they use a bunch of great exaggerated metaphors for whatever's going on. I noted this scene here. I noted kind of when he's in the is it the bath or the gym when he steps one way and the whole scene sways that way. There's the part where he's singing on the like riverbank, got his guitar out and singing like nonsense lyrics about circles or something. It's 2 years later, and I still have no idea what we do in this kind of cult. Master Higuchi was no hermit master or anything. He's just some eighth year student. He's just a college kind of repeater dude that doesn't seem especially interested in anything else. Well, here he's reading about sea creatures, and there's some imagery that is used later during his song, and he puts pins into certain parts of the world. I don't know, it's very weird. Yeah, whereabouts is that? I've got no clue. Central America somewhere, maybe. There he is riding the bike that he used to win the race in the last episode. I think that's very funny. He seems like a bit of an eccentric dude, maybe not of this world, perhaps, but we'll keep an eye on it. This is the one I was talking about just before. Some clever stuff there. He has library fines and he's being targeted by a secret like library police that track down the fines. That's pretty funny. Because he's an eighth year student, right? I don't think he's getting much use out of those books. I think they're just kind of hidden somewhere. I don't know. That's a little bit funny to me. I've I definitely knew people like this at university. Put it that way. He had an ongoing battle with a man named Jogasaki-san. This is a proxy battle based on events that transpired when they were together in high school, I think. And there was some lady involved, and it's just basically a prank war that's been passed on from generation to generation to generation. You know, it's a metaphor essentially about the cycle of violence and breaking it and all these kind of things, right? And I think the main point they're trying to make is that instead of walking away with the money that our main character had, he instead decided to keep the war going, to keep serving Higuchi. So maybe I don't know. Maybe there's something deeper here that I'm not quite getting. I feel kind of stupid at the moment. Hmm. Any thoughts on this would be appreciated. I like how basic all the pranks are, just like gluing his shoes and delivering food to a house that doesn't need it delivered and splitting the bill and all this kind of other stuff. Yeah, it's it's pointless. It's obviously pointless. So why does our main character keep coming back to it? It's meant to highlight something there, I think. This was a little bit crazy here. This is like kind of a look into another timeline, if that makes any sense. Like something they did in a different loop using very similar shots. Like, why would they be playing with these movies? Oh, just to prank him, maybe? I don't know. Either way, it's pretty purposeful, I think. And then, kind of, Higuchi gives the main character his motivation for the episode. You have to find this brush. It's got a very, like, important sounding backstory. It's almost kind of like James Bond esque, right? It's like, this is where this was made, and this is the political climate around why it's being created, and blah, 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 blah. I like that it's just always just a JPEG. It's the same like picture of it. It's not animated. It feels very out of place. But it also emphasizes its importance. It's a weird one. It's this, and then there's all the sea creatures that he goes and visits. Again, Higuchi-san is super into sea creatures. He's reading that book. You see like the whales flying through the air when he's singing his song. So there's something there, I think. I don't know what it is with this frame in particular, but it's very ramshackle. I love it. Like the line work is really like jagged, and the signs up there are purposely low res, and it all looks fake, right? It looks like it hasn't been made correctly. Weird. And yeah, the brush is what he's thinking about, so it's just hanging over his head. I don't know, pretty obvious visual metaphor there, but I still enjoy it. My master's asked me to get many things for him, including all of these different foods. I know, it seems like you're being manipulated. You have to get the brush before tomorrow, or you'll be expelled from the disciples. And I think the thing here is like, so what's bad about being expelled? Right? I get to move on with my life. I'm not having a good time doing what I'm currently doing, but still I keep falling back into the old routines. but then there's also a giant squid. I don't know. This show's weird, but I think it's very clever. And I feel the episodes still zoom by. Like that episode there just went. I know it's a shorter episode at 22 minutes instead of your normal 23 or 24, but still, it feels way quicker than that even. They basically all tell him to fuck off, which is, pretty standard. All I see is chicken and onions lined up, and I want to hit them with fireworks. Well, the fireworks thing is another reference to a past loop. Again, that's two now, so we'll be keeping eyes out for that. I don't really get this chicken and onion thing though. Anyway, the males are chicken and females are onion. Don't get that. Girls make you cry? I don't know. Maybe he just wants to eat them all up on a skewer? Again, we get a very similar scene play out here with the fortune teller, where she tells him to grab the opportunity that's dangling right in front of him, which of course can be interpreted as the plushie. We know that by now. It's very curious that Akashi-san pops up just after this. It's, definitely pointing that way, isn't it? I also like that the cost of her kind of fortune telling is now 4,000 yen, delineating that it's episode 4. I like how all the lights kind of light up and it's this very like romantic colors, very soft feminine colors, and the music starts playing as well. It's quite nice. It's talking about Akashi-san. He obviously thinks highly of her. Even at this point, he's still contemplating why doesn't he just expel himself from the disciples, right? The techniques on the backgrounds and the angles and everything are consistently just very interesting. Like the shading here on your right, it's very cool. Again, the realistic image with some filters put on it, and then the kind of animated image on top. Pretty unique, and isn't as jarring as you would think. And if it is jarring, it's purposefully jarring. So they kind of go on this wild goose chase, following around, trying to find this brush. I like this technique here where all the brushes kind of light up and there's different sea creatures telling them where to go. It's like, we're thinking about the brush, 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 brush. Somebody tells us brush, brush, brush. Just works. They finally come to this guy who is in possession of the brush. I don't like his evil teeth. It makes me think that he is like Ozu in a way, right? At least tangentially related to Ozu, I think. So the use of yellow here is obviously meant to show that it's late in the day when they're doing this, but it's also meant to symbolize the difference between kind of the light and the dark. The dark is symbolized by the blue and the black, and they're still standing in the light, though they are casting a long shadow. You may not have noticed it on first watch, but your brain did. That's the kind of good stuff I'm after. Like, why do I think this guy's evil, besides the mouth? It's because of where he's standing. It's just, fundamentals. Good fundamentals go a long way. This is where we get Higuchi's big song, musical number. The song seemingly is nonsense. It's like about different shapes and wanting to be a circle. Maybe that relates to some of the stuff later that they do when they're doing the rock, paper, scissors stuff, so. But I don't know. This here is very similar to the book he was reading. It's got a bunch of the sea creatures he was interested in, and this ship is very similar to the one in the book. Then some of this other stuff in the background, I see shogi tiles and this big robot and stuff. It's just, it's associated with his lifestyle at the moment. Here we're at Neko Ramen talking with, I forget her name already. Oh my god. Hinuki? I think that's it. When the kind of shopkeeper starts talking about the backstory between Jogasaki-san and Higuchi. I don't know if this backstory is like a sham at all, but this is kind of how they came to be. How this war came to start. That's a lot of proxies, so this war's been going on for a long time, being passed down generations. Nobody really knows why it started anymore. It started over some drinks, over some girls, something pretty stupid. And you're left to take over this war. And here's the money. This is the choice, right? You've got the money here. You either choose to take over this war that you have no interest in, that is treating you like shit, nothing but a slave, a disciple to a stupid person, living a stupid lifestyle. Are you going to take that and run away? Or are you going to take that and do the same thing you've been doing every single time since? I think that's what we're trying to say. And of course, our main character, and it being episode 4, he does not choose the right option. He does not choose to go on a date with Akashi-san. Yeah, this dream date with Akashi-san that he wants to do. Even so, I don't think Akashi-san would really appreciate this. I don't think she would need a a 100,000 yen date. I don't think that's something that she would appreciate. No real mention of a promise in this episode, I don't think, which is interesting. That element has been taken away. So yeah, after that dream of that date, he immediately goes, buys the brush, and gives it to his master, Higuchi-san. So they are going to continue this proxy war. This is kind of the passing of the baton in a way. Jogasaki passing to Ozu and Higuchi-san passing to our main character. Ozu was playing a double agent the whole time, but again, it's not really plot relevant. It's just so it's more thematically relevant, right? You are now going to be now associated with Ozu-san for the rest of time until you pass on the war to somebody else, right? Instead of doing what you wanted to do during your rose-colored college life, you are stuck doing this with a person you don't particularly like, instead of taking life by the horns and doing what you really want to do. I like the build-up of the joke here, where it's very intense, like the whole neighborhood kind of stops. Yeah, kind of this stuff here, right? Like, like I just finished watching Edge Runners this morning. Actually, this is giving me some Edge Runners vibes. And it's like, oh, they're about to battle. They're loading up the punches. Blah 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 blah. And it's rock paper scissors. Of course it is. Undercut all that seriousness with this joke and blah blah blah. I'm imagining this is scissors and this is rock. So of course Jogasaki-san gets first dibs on the first prank. And Jogasaki-san, of course, passes that on to Ozu, and that's where we leave the episode. Higuchi is done with kind of this whole war going on now, and instead decides to go on a journey. He's going to go travel, and he asks some of them to come with him, but of course they say no. Again, I'm going to imagine this is related to the pins in the globe that he was planning out as well. And here it's like, my master disappeared with the wind. So, again, alluding to his not quite human status, I think. He now realizes that this is what his life is going forward, and all the people, all the weight, all the proxies on top of him fall away, and he refuses. He chucks a tantrum and runs away. But now he is stuck doing these pranks for the rest of his college time. And the first one here is Ozu kind of leaves this present, says, look forward to working with you, and of course loosens one of the, I'm guessing this is tatami, or if not, tatami would be placed on top of it, kind of below him, loosens one of them, and he falls through and hits his head. It's the first of the innocuous pranks that are going to plague him now for the rest of the time. He now has to retaliate. He is stuck in the same cycle, the same proxy war that has been going on for ages, instead of doing what he actually wanted to do with Akashi-san. And he, of course, wishes to go back in time, go back to the start of his college life and grab one of those flyers and actually join a club. And we'll see where that goes next. Yeah, that episode's a bit of a weird one in retrospect. Definitely not quite as dense as the other ones, but didn't dislike that either. It felt good to have a nice kind of simple-ish episode, I think. But not that there wasn't hidden meaning there, of course. I'm going to stop here for today, and you'll see me catch up in like 5 seconds tomorrow. So I'll see you for today, but I'll catch you tomorrow. Rightio, I'm back again today, new day, to watch episode 5 of the Tatami Galaxy. Let me pop that up on screen. The time code for this is 22 minutes and 53 seconds, so sync that up yourself. There'll be a timer on screen. There'll also be a picture-in-picture version, as always. And I see no reason to stand on ceremony, so we're just going to jump right in to episode 5. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, car? The last episode started really dark as well. Oh, yes. True darkness. Maybe something's implied there? Or there's a train at least. Oh, that angle's awesome. Yes, I am, yeah. As a worker bee. We've got some stuff in Monogatari going on about bees at the moment too, so little parallel there. Okay. Is this another cult? Was this about the water? As a result of my total infatuation. Okay. Intriguing setup, as always. I think this opening's really growing on me. He always ends up in the same room, huh? Like in the last end of the last episode. Is that something? Like he always ends up in the same tatami room? That sounds right. Nah, he definitely jumps off a bridge in the first episode. I'm dumb. I'm keen to see how we mix up the start here, if he's going to take a flyer or not. Indeed. Softball. Okay. I don't see how we get from here softball to where we were. Yeah, it's, social sport. You're gonna make 100 friends, are you? Yeah? Keep telling yourself that. Ooh, what a dinger. Yep, I'm sure this is how it'll happen. If women love anything, it's softball players. Honwaka. Where's Ozu, bro? Okay, it wasn't Ozu this time. Oh, the bees. Not the bees. How's your arm? Not great. Ooh. This seems fine. Well, you seem to still be alone. It was a bit too warm and snuggly. Yeah, that's always hiding something too, isn't it? And they're always wearing these worker bee kind of hats. They hate you, bro. Do you? This feels like a Christian camp to me. I think you're a little too cynical for the old worker bee convention. Hello, Ozu. Ozu was always here. This doesn't seem like Ozu's crowd. Slippery fellow. Oh, their faces, I don't like it. Who is in the center here? Hello. Fwa fwa. Hmm. Queen Bee? I'm sure they would if it was reality. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not really, you know, like good food etiquette. I can't think of the word. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's very important. Yeah. Uh, that's clever. So you got to buy a lot of their products, similar to the money you spent on the brush last time. He's doing all these like shady jobs again. That's great. Yeah, take more pills. It'll be great. Here's my bee. My favorite bee character. Oh, it was you after all. Yeah, just lie. Ooh. The bee man's gone nuts. He's on a rampage. I know where we are now. Oh, she got you. I like the sound effects. Oh, and the echo in his voice. That's clever. Hmm. Episode 5. 5,000 yen. Yeah, this seems safe. This is funny. Oh, I hate their smiling faces. Yeah. Yeah. This is creepy. This is the true 1984 right here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this guy looks awesome. Oh, great. Okay. We're throwing all subtext out. It is the text. This is a cult. Run. Well, one pair of man and woman, though. Seems sane. N- no Kashi-san so far, by the way. Wow, how profound. The contrast between his face there and the rest of them. Have you got your fist up? Our main character? Where is he? Here she is. Wow. She's so shiny. Bye. Become a person. Yeah, you must show your soul. In 6 payments of $60, please. Ooh. Oh, I like how they're changing. I throw up at family movies. I made a mess on the toilet seat. Hmm. Wow, we bared our souls to each other. Oh no, run. Oh, somebody had hijacked the Ark. Now, whoever could it be? Well, that's a great shot too. Is this back to where we were? Hello, Ozu. Are they trying to like find him? Again, that's like World War II imagery. Ah, it's my ramen boy. Ramen boy always has my back. Oh no, they found him. Oh no, they're smiling faces. He loves cross dressing, which means fair enough. Hmm. Very similar spot. Bye. Uh. Oh yes. Always a Castella, huh? Well, most of the time. Hello. Okay, so she was a disciple. This loop through. So we're still using elements from past loops. Hmm. 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 You were at the book fair? Yeah. She hates moths. It's himself, right? This episode was very interesting. I think what I get from it is he's starting to clue into the whole looping thing a little bit more. Maybe subconsciously, maybe not. In contrast to episode 4, it's interesting. So I said in episode 4 it was like a cult, right? And he stayed in the cult to his detriment. Kept perpetuating the proxy war. In this one, he escapes the cult and then theorizes maybe I would have been happier if I just stayed with the cult. And again, we're seemingly taking like similar elements. I'm wondering if these all happen every single time loop, or is this his memories of certain time loops and then like they're being brought into this time loop, you know what I mean? Because there's obviously characters at this point, I think it's pretty fair to say, at least Higuchi-san, probably Ozu, and some other characters maybe, are also cognizant that they are looping and carry over memories. Hmm. Right, yeah, let's jump into a little bit of analysis on that episode. Now, this episode was intriguing, and I'm unsure how much further I can really postulate without going through it another time. But again, using all these similar elements in different orders, in different ways, starting to demonstrate the idea of destiny and fate and the people you're supposed to be with and all these kind of things, right? And metaphor for college life and blah 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 blah. But we're still taking it in a bunch of unique and different directions, despite using the similar pieces. Now, I noted that this episode in particular had a striking resemblance to the last episode, in that they both had cult-ish themes. Kind of this group, this softball club that is also being sponsored by I'm guessing it's a pharmaceutical company slash candy company slash honey company. Again, it's a huge metaphor for a kind of a cultish business where everybody is perpetually happy, and our cynical main character and cynical Akashi-san, obviously. Apart from that, I'm not even including Ozu in this because Ozu is, again, I'm pretty sure he's not of this reality. He's a figment of some kind. I'm not really sure I can grasp anything further than that right now. I get the feeling that this episode had larger revelations that will later become clear. The way I see it right now is that the main character is starting to become cognizant of the loops a little bit more, at least subconsciously. That coupled with at the end, it's him with a beard, like wearing the same clothes and the same glasses. I think it's him walking through and saying, "Help me" or something. He said is very strange. Then there's the stuff with the book. Now that book that Higuchi-san was reading in the last episode is now connected to the fateful meeting with Akashi-san between the main character and Akashi-san at that library kind of book fair. I haven't read, what is it, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or whatever it's called, so I don't know any connections there. Especially the different places on the globe as well. I wonder if they have relevance to the book. I wonder if they'll have relevance later. We're going to have to see. Lots of stuff to chew on that is kind of macro to the series rather than micro to this episode. I'm going to pop it up on screen now, and we're just going to go have another look through and see what we can say, and I'll have a reread of the dialogue, because again, it does go very fast, so I want to miss stuff on occasion. Similar to last episode, we start in kind of a completely dark setting, kind of mirroring how the audience would feel, where we're in complete darkness to where the next episode will go. So it's very intriguing. It's an intriguing start, right? Because we're looking for, we have the base elements, right? We're looking for the differences and as much information as we can gather early as possible. So making it in full darkness, it kind of grabs your attention early and doesn't really let go of it. This is similar to a lot of the episodes so far, actually. I think every single one, where we've kind of skipped ahead, then flashed back after the opening credits. Now we understand that these two are on the run from Honwaka, I think was the name of the company cult thing, because our main character wants to escape and Ozu is there to help. I think the implication from the parachute is that Ozu was the stealer of the blimp to get him out of the cult. Again, that's very intriguing. And all of this is due to my total infatuation. An element I'm probably ignoring in all of this is the quote unquote raven haired maiden that he has been chasing after this whole show, really. She finally appears towards him and, doesn't make a lot of appearances, but, still doesn't have a face because when we see her face, it kind of droops and dies. It's a representation of something unattainable that also doesn't have a lot of detail to it, right? It sounds nice in theory, but you don't have all the facts of it. And when you get all the facts, it's like, oh yeah, she's the daughter of like a cult leader thing. Weird. Again, I'm just kind of spitballing stuff. I really don't know where we're going, and that's kind of exciting as well. So we started in a very similar spot again. He's started universities, looking at all the different clubs. And to my knowledge early, I'm like, oh yeah, softball, that sounds alright. It's, a social sport. But I thought it would be very similar to the tennis club. It played it in a completely different way, but these sporting clubs, between the cycling, the softball, and the tennis, they aren't really for you. I think you probably had the best shot in the movie club if Joe Gasaki-san wasn't there. Seems a lot more his speed. You don't get a lot out of being cynical in those other clubs anyway. The dialogue's really good here because he's like, no, it would be for the, love of the sport, right? It wouldn't be for the beautiful women involved and the ratio of men to women. No, that isn't why it is. But if they were to come along, I wouldn't say no. It's just, noticeably smug. It's nice. It speaks to something kind of real as well, I think. So even this early on, we see that it's an organic sandwich with the royal jelly. It's all about the products. They've all got this logo on it, right? Even the cup, right? Interesting. I don't know what this is symbolizing, kind of this traditional Japanese setting. But yeah, everyone keeps having this creepy smile on their face. I wonder how they make these smiles creepy. Because it's very low detail, but it somehow feels creepy. I guess it's the non-moving nature of it. I don't know. Either way, the softball club, it was a little too warm and snuggly. This is something I missed earlier. Here they bring up the juxtaposition between ramen and these kind of healthy food stuffs associated with the company. Because these guys are kind of spitting the propaganda of the company, and then our main character comes through and it's like, sometimes you just feel like something that's bad for you, like an oily cup of ramen. And they all give him they give him nothing, right? Like, look at this, look how depressing this is. This is their opinion of his opinion, right? But of course they're all too polite to say anything, so they just give him these vacant smiles. Again, here's another similar example. They're talking about raising children and how to raise children right. We must love them. Loving them is the best way. And then our main character is like, no, we should cross at red lights just to show them that we don't have to blindly follow what we're told. Again, a similar dreary view. These guys are like shills, right? And he's way too cynical for this. The only one that didn't have the face is Ozu, who had a face that resembled a yokai's, because of course. Ozu doesn't seem that involved until later on. It's more a personal journey of the main character. Yeah, I don't think Ozu's ever been innocent in his entire life, so... See, here he was about to crack, like he was about to crack at the tennis club, and did do so and went on a rampage and started breaking up all the couples, right? But instead, here he has a fateful encounter with the pictured raven-haired maiden that he wishes for in his college life. This is the difference, right? He gets a sighting of the unattainable, and of course wants to obtain it. And all the people in the softball club or the cult say, thank you for making all the products, they helped me in my life, they helped me do this, they helped me do that. All thanks to her, apparently. She seems a little bit, I don't know, too good to be true. So Ozu posits the kind of scenario going forward. If you want to meet this woman on a more regular basis, you need to raise your profile in the club/company. And how do you do that? By buying more of their products, because of course you do. That seems very healthy. And again, as they're talking about this, they're eating the ramen. I love the juxtaposition between here, where he's bought a lot of their products, symbolized by the logo on the bowls, to where he is right now, drowning his sorrows in the one ramen bowl that he has. Isn't that like she's some kind of grand prize you can win if you collect enough box tops? This show's clever. Let's leave it at that. So, of course, after Ozu says, well, you could do that, I'm not going to stop you, he goes on and does it. Again, kind of the stop to this scenario, this looping scenario, I think, is ignoring this advice, ignoring the goading on of Ozu, and instead choosing Akashi-san early. Again, Akashi-san only really appears in the second half of these episodes, right? But she always appears. I thought it was a scam, but then I read the propaganda, and then it wasn't a scam anymore. Of course. And similar to when he bought the bike in episode 3, he's doing these different jobs, different, very difficult jobs in all of his time. I think he says burning the candle at both ends to try and make enough money to buy these products to impress this woman that he's never talked to. Again, seems very healthy. Maybe that's the difference there. It's the juxtaposition between the unhealthy nature of the ramen and the healthy nature of the products, with the healthy lifestyle and the unhealthy lifestyle associated with each. There's something there, I think. Yeah, thanks to the unhealthy food, my lifestyle became unhealthy. So he ends up such a shill that he ends up in this bee costume. I thought this bee would be a different character, but it turns out it's just our main character in costume. It even says bee missionary on his kind of sash there. Again, they're not exactly subtle about the whole cult thing, especially later where there's the giant blimp that's going to help them escape 2012. Again, they're acting much like a cult. They've got these weird smiles on their face. They're bugging people on the side of the road to try and join. They're telling blatant liars to try to sell the products. It's a cult. And our main character is still buying in on the promise of seeing this one girl once, kind of the object of all of his desire, once, and didn't even talk to her. Again, he kind of snaps and goes to the fortune teller, who tells him, hey, there's an opportunity right in front of you. Are you going to grasp it? The only difference here is that he's in the bee costume the entire time, which I find pretty funny. And I think in this kind of loop, he interprets the opportunity right now as receiving this invitation to the National Assembly. Finally, this is my big break. I've been invited to the headquarters. I'm going to get in with the group and start actually talking to this object of my desire. And they have to be blindfolded on a bus and then walked on a trail, blindfolded, following each other blindly, to get to the Honwaka kind of headquarters. We hide it up here so people can't steal our secrets. It's not because we're doing stuff that isn't exactly within the law. That's ridiculous. I was recently at the casino over the weekend, and this is giving me similar vibes, where they just want you to, stay as long as you can. There's bright lights everywhere, it looks so nice. How is it so nice? Because people keep blindly pumping their money into it. That's why. It's to create more suckers. Not that the casino isn't fun, we had a fun time, but it's important to know why the place is as lavish as it is what I'm saying. It's not through legitimate business. This shot here is terrifying, and they stay on it for a very creepy amount of time, just like moving their spoons around and getting a squirt from the machine. Again, the main character is kind of disillusioned by this. He sees, like, oh, I thought everything was made by hand. It's like, well, at least 99% it's made by hand, but this doesn't look as natural as the business was pushing anyway. This guy, he definitely doesn't look evil at all, and he's like the main company guy. He's the main spokesperson. Again, he seems like a real salesman, a real spin artist, con artist, if you want to be very cynical. You have all found salvation, but there's still much work to do. The time of judgment is coming, 2012, and it flashes all these like disasters on screen that are going to happen in 2012. Again, everybody around him is eating it up, and he is the one face that's different. He's the one cynic in all of this. To prepare for the upcoming calamity, we've prepared our Ark of Salvation, and we'll send one male and one female on this Ark. So, of course, the female would be the raven-haired maiden, and the male would supposedly hope to be himself. I think that's what he's hoping anyway. He's talking about their, like, human form ascending to a new form that's even better. This is, like, insane, and everyone's just eating it up. Again, like a cult. The raven-haired maiden here makes her final appearance in the episode, I think, which is a token appearance on stage for like 2 seconds, where she just bows her head and then the audience, erupts in, applause and cheers and this kind of stuff. She hasn't even said a word. It's just an idea that our main character still likes. Now, this reminds me of some stuff that I unfortunately had to do at school, where it's like, you have to open your hearts and tell everybody your deeper secrets, and that'll make you all closer in the end. At this moment, there's also this gas filling the room, this kind of pheromone, if you want to be that way inclined, that causes everybody to act like this. And act like what? They kind of lash out and say a bunch of things, a bunch of very funny things, their deepest, darkest secrets, some of which are stupid, some of them are very important. I don't know. But by the end, they're all crying. They're so happy. They've delved their deepest, darkest secrets, and they've given them to everybody else, except for their main character, who needs some special training one-on-one. Now, at this point, Ozu steals the blimp, I think, and our main character kind of escapes. He tries to escape the situation. He is fully out on this whole cult and wants to leave. There's some great character animation here on the main character. Just great stuff, like completely stiff, scared, so Ozu picks him up like that. Good stuff. And then we recognize this scene and we're back to where we were at the start of the episode. What has he got, like a bat or something, and they've got a bunch of tiki torches? Yeah, definitely not a cult. Before that, one to warm you up, good customers. The ramen represents a move away from what he was doing previously with the health food products and more to what he's used to, the ramen. I decided then and there, even if the world were being destroyed tomorrow, I would take myself to Neko Ramen. Very important line, I think. They create like a border and then stop the guy, and then they have to escape by a boat. You head to the boarding house, I still have some minor business to take care of. And he's dressed in drag. And then gets kicked into the river and breaks his leg. Interesting. I just had a thought. Maybe these aren't time loops. These are different. This guy's generic enough that he could be a background character in a bunch of these as well. Maybe he isn't time looping. He's time looping into a different version of himself in a different club. So all of it is going on at once, right? It's not a different loop. They're all the same loop. And they're connected like that. Again, we saw Higuchi on the bike in the previous thing. Maybe that's a reference. Maybe that's something he actually did during those 2 years. But that would imply that Akashi-san has been in the movie club and the engineering and doing the Birdman Society and been a disciple all along, which is a little bit much, I think. As well as Ozu being... Well, Ozu's more justifiable because I think Ozu is a... he's not of this world. But again, Akashi-san's in it or not in it enough that it makes sense. Again, something we have to view looking forward, I think. This is the first and only appearance by Akashi-san in the episode, where she brings him a castella, which again links a lot of elements from previous loops. It seems things are over, it's okay now. So Akashi still calls him master, she's still a disciple in this loop. They're talking about Ozu. Our main character posits, what even is he? Indeed, he's a slippery one to pin down. But he said he would cover for you, come what may. This is your book. He's returning the book that Ozu borrowed from him ages ago. This is the book from the kind of book fair that Akashi-san was running way back in episode 1, I think it was. We learnt about that. This globe seems to be important as well. The different positions on the globe, still have no idea what it means. We get our flashback to the kind of book fair that we've seen before. Again, the lighting is super nice here. It just feels homely. I'll be in trouble if there's fewer bees, because there'd be an increase in moths. She really hates moths. She told me she was searching for the plushie. Here it is. The opportunity's dangling right in front of your eyes. And then we get this. And this is very intriguing. Because to my knowledge, this is the main character, but he has grown a beard. So he's from the future, I guess. But he kind of breaks through reality in a way, right? Before being locked away. He's don't want to see it, don't want to believe it. This is weird. I don't believe in this crazy stuff. Because it'd be really scary if it were true. This fear, the likes of which I'd never felt before. Like, I'm thinking this is the realization that he's in some kind of looping situation. At this rate, would I not have been happy in mixing with Honwaka? No, I have wasted these 2 years. I must face this reality with conviction and not shut my eyes to it. And then we loop back again. Right into the ED. I will say, the rewatches are really helping with my understanding of it. This is very intriguing. I would love to see where we go next, but that is enough for today. I'm wondering what TJ Gibson meant by 6, 7, and 8 going together. I wonder what that means in the context of this show. Be very intriguing to see next week, I think. I think I'm starting to get it a little bit more. The rewatches really help. I'll keep saying that. Final thoughts on the show so far? It's very good. It's very smart. You don't watch a lot of smart shows, and when you do, you really need to pay attention. It's something that I am struggling to do at times. Either way, we're going to give it all in our attempts to understand what's going on screen and try to make something poignant out of it at least. Either way, thank you very much for watching again this week. Just do my shill stuff quickly. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm almost at 200 subscribers, so even if you're not subbed and still watching these, I would appreciate just clicking the button, because it makes me feel good. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation, comment below. And I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back, and we can do the social interaction thing. It'll be awesome. Either way, thank you very much for watching again this week, and I'll catch you guys next time. Catch you next time. See ya. Bye.